Here's the slightly rude truth. Your program does not care what you meant. It heard your code, it did something else, and then it crashed. Most people think programming is writing instructions, very serious instructions, with punctuation. They imagine the computer reading their code carefully, respectfully, like a student trying to impress you. That's not what happens. The computer is more like, technically legal. I will now interpret this in the most inconvenient way possible. So you run your program, it works, you feel competent for 12 seconds, then you deploy it, and suddenly it's wrong in ways you didn't even know were allowed. Now, because you're staring at the screen thinking, I literally told you what to do, you did, but you didn't tell it. Where or when, or under how much pressure, or while 5,000 users clicked the refresh button like it owed them money. And this is why people feel lost. Not because programming is mystical, but because they confuse code with the thing that actually happens. A program is not the next thing you wrote. A program is the behavior that emerges when that text meets a real system. And real systems have opinions. They have operating systems, schedulers, memory that is sometimes available and sometimes emotionally distant. They have files that exist until they don't. Networks that are fast, except at the exact moment you need them. Your code is a suggestion. The program is the result of timing, state, load, configuration, and several decisions made by machines that do not feel bad about it. Change the environment and the same code produces a different program. Not metaphorically, but literally. This is why bugs disappear. When you add logging, the program noticed you were watching. Think of code like a recipe. A clean recipe, well written, ingredients listed. Now give that recipe to 3 different kitchens. One has a gas stove, one has an induction plate, one has a micro oven that beeps aggressively. If you press the wrong button, same recipe, 3 very different meals. One is perfect, one is undercooked, one is technically food, but nobody's proud of it. Now imagine the kitchen changes while you're cooking. Someone swaps salt and sugar. Someone replaces butter with a healthier option. Someone decides the oven should also host a database. That's production. Your recipe didn't change, but the dish absolutely did, and the customer is still angry. This difference becomes obvious the moment systems get large enough to embarrass you professionally. Take a real backend service. The code looks calm, readable, almost polite. The problem includes configuration files that quietly decide behavior, environment variables that override logic because someone once needed a hotfix, feature flags that turn code paths on and off like a haunted house of if statements. A database remembers every compromise you made since year 1. A cache that returns almost fresh data because latency has feelings too. Now add traffic. Under low load, everything is honest. Under high load, the program reveals its personality. That retry you added just in case? Congratulations, you invented a denial of service attack. That harmless loop, it's now a space heater. Nothing changed in the repo, but the program changed because the conditions changed. And when it breaks, people ask, who wrote this? Which is unfair, because half of the program was written by physics. Code is what you commit. The program is what you explain. Code is your intention. The program is the consequence. When software behaves strangely, it's usually not been random. It's been extremely consistent with assumptions you didn't know you were making. That's why real engineering feels less like typing and more like observing behavior with mild concern. Next time something breaks, don't ask, why would anyone write this? Ask, what conditions made this inevitable? Because once you stop treating code as the program and start treating behavior as the program, systems start making more sense. Not simpler, just honest. And that's usually the beginning of understanding. Like, share, subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.